Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. Hey, my name is Philip Brown. I've got this really cool geometry problem for us here. I got this video set up so that I'll give you a chance. I'll describe how it works, give you 3 different clues, give you opportunities between each one, and then we'll go through the solution together, shall we? So first thing first, let's make sure that this is really clear what we've got. This is an old problem from a proofs problem from an old geometry book that kind of modernized and made a video out of it. So here's our situation. We've got this big triangle ABC, and inside that triangle we've got a couple of line segments going from this vertex and this vertex, and you can see that they create some other triangles within that triangle. Hey, this is Philip Brown. I'm editing the video and I realized I forgot to mention at the beginning there's some very important congruent angles. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. So for example, this green triangle starts here. We've got a side that goes all the way from A to F and down to B. So we've got this triangle AFB. It's got the angle N inside of it. We've got this triangle ADB with the angle K, and we've got triangle AFB with the angle M. And our job is to relate M and N to angle K. So that's our job. Can we take M and N and relate it to angle K? We don't have any measurements, any distances, nothing. So that's our job. So for example, if you thought that M divided by N was equal to the opposite of K, then you would put a division sign in this first little box right here, and you would take a minus sign and you would put it over here, and you would think that is your true statement. So that's our job. All right. So I'm going to give you 3 clues, but before I give you the first clue, why don't you go ahead and play around with this a little bit. Go ahead and pause the video now, because in about 3 seconds, I'm going to give you the first clue. All right, so clue number 1. We have to make use of the clues that are inherent in the problem. Each of these angles is from a triangle. I've removed the colors that make it really pretty to look at, and when I did so, you can actually kind of see maybe your idea is if you write an expression for all 3 of these angles as being part of a triangle that have this common base, you might be able to get somewhere. So you see we have angle with the triangle with M, K, and N right there. So see if that's enough to get you started. So go ahead and play around with that a little while. If you get the answer, put it in the comments. If you're having a good time, put it in the comment. I'm going to give you just a couple seconds to pause it, and then we're going to go over the next clue. All right, so clue 2. Inside of each of these triangles, right, they add up to 180 degrees. What if you labeled those other angles just to give you something to talk about, something that you could write down, right? So this first triangle right here would be angle M plus X plus X plus A. That makes this entire angle over here plus angle we're going to call B. All of that would add up to 180 degrees. So if you do that for all 3 of those angles, then you end up with 3 equations that you can perhaps manipulate and figure out what the relationship between M and N and K is. So K here is X plus A is the angle over here. Y plus B, we just went ahead and called this Y. Y plus B plus K plus X plus A is 180. And just to make sure, for the last triangle over here, A plus N plus 2Y plus B would be the other triangle. So all of those angles add up to 180 degrees. So we have these 3 equations. So play around with that. See if you can figure it out. Write your answer in the comments below. I'm going to give you the last clue here in about 3 seconds. All right. Third clue. You've got these three equations over here. What if you rearrange these using some algebra to isolate M, N, and K, and then you could maybe write an equation? So why don't you try that? That's the last clue. Go ahead and pause the video. Write your answer in the comments. Let me know how it's going. Let me know if you're having a good time with this one. And in 3 seconds, we're going to start the solution. All right. So I really had a good time with this. And hey, if you're a math teacher, look in the description below. I've got some resources for you so you can use this in the classroom. I think it's really a fun question. Let's go ahead and get into this solution, shall we? So first thing first, we went ahead and we labeled each of the angles right? And we decided to go ahead and use all of the triangles we're dealing with, the one with the angle M, K, and N, all three of those have a common side AB. All right, so label those other angles, and we wrote some equations for each triangle, right? So we have this triangle right here. Angles are M, 2x plus A, and B, and all three of those angles add up, of course, to 180 degrees. We did the same thing for the triangle with the angle K. So we had K plus X plus A plus Y plus B equals 180. Did the same thing for the last one, the triangle with angle N. So N plus A plus 2Y plus B, right? All of that adds up to 180 degrees as well. So now we can manipulate these things and put them in an equation and see if we can figure out what goes where, right? So we're going to isolate each of these equations, right, using algebra. And so we're going to have N equals, M equals, and of course, K equals. So now let's go ahead and put everything together like this right here, right? So we end up with M, some operation with N equals some operation with K. Now, 180 plus 180, well, that would be double of this right here, right? So let's go ahead and let's just see what happens. Let's just try. We don't really know, but what happens if we decide to add those things together right there? Well, we would get 360 minus 2x, and then minus A, and minus A is minus 2A, minus B is minus 2B, and then, of course, minus 2y, and that would equal this. Now, let's see here. 360 is double. We have 2x's over here, 1x over there. Look at that. The a's, there's 2 on the left, 1 on the right. I know they're all minus, but you see, it looks like this is double. So if we put some parentheses around the expression for k and we double it, well, then we end up with a true statement. So we would end up with m plus n equals twice of k. That's pretty cool. So that's a pretty cool little problem right there. Hey, if you enjoyed this content, share it. Let me know how it went. Like, subscribe. Let me know how it's going. I'd love to hear from you. There are some links in the description down below. Check out the website. Check out my blog. I got a bunch of stuff there for math teachers to help you use this kind of thing in your classroom. And there's Google Forms, all kinds of good stuff for you there. So anyway, I hope you had a good time with this question. I know I did, and I'll talk to you soon.